Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie and it's Mwenyenchi Monday. I hope you're looking forward to taking it back 2018 and beyond, because we've got to take back this nation. And we stopped last week at that we have the fight and we've got to fight back, a positive kind of fight back. We're not talking about war, we're talking about fighting back the systems, the structures, the processes, the thoughts, the actions, the words, and the things that are keeping us down as Kenyans, and we've got to sort of break out of that. So I'm here with Shege, and we've got to continue our conversation from where we left off last Monday, so let's do this. Shege.
Yes, Pastor Angie.
Where did we stop?
We were talking about not taking things lying down,
Yes.
not letting injustice be the order of the day.
Okay. And how do we do that? Because me, I like practicality.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do me and you do that?
So recently there's been a number of muggings in town.
Yeah.
In Nairobi.
That's another thing.
And it's very interesting that you'll watch videos of the muggings happening.
Even I wonder who films those things. Okay, let's not go there.
So
yeah, who is standing filming the muggings? Anyway.
So I wonder when we became the people who, instead of stopping something,
yes,
we film it.
We film it.
And that I think is mixed a lot with social media and likes and all those kinds of things.
It's actually about likes,
yeah,
and my point of fame, my moment of fame.
And my moment
that
of fame.
I could film this and it could go
exactly.
viral. You know, we're going crazy.
Exactly. So in fact, when I look at those videos, my immediate reaction is not even to the mugging; it's to the people standing around
and just watching that happen.
And I don't know whether it's fear, I don't know whether it's
fellow man.
Apathy, I don't know, because
it's apathy, I think.
Because for the grace of God, that could have been you being mugged.
Yes.
If you are the one being mugged,
would you want somebody to be filming you?
You'd sure want someone to either help you or not be filming it, or just to create a commotion enough for the people to stop mugging.
Yeah. And
I think maybe that's we need to explore that a bit more, where we say, if it happens to one Kenyan, it happens to all Kenyans.
Yeah, and it could happen to you, it could be you, that could be you tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's really sad. But you know what that makes me feel like?
Yeah.
And I think it's something which is true. We've come to a place where life is all about me.
Yeah.
So you know the three biggest things I'm praying for this year in terms of even Mwenyenchi Monday is the end of sin, the end of self, and the end of corruption. And that one speaks of self.
Yeah.
You're so selfish that if this was your brother or your mother or your auntie that was being mugged, you'd feel so bad, or your spouse, you'd be there, or your child, you would jump. When I say people, the things they can do for their children, you'd jump up there and you wouldn't want that. And you wouldn't want such a video going around even about your child. That your child was being mugged, or your spouse was being mugged, or your friend, or your mother, or your brother, or your sister, you know? So why would you sit back and watch that? So this is the things I'm saying. We've got to end selfishness because that's a very selfish move.
Yeah.
The extremely. You know, one of the things that I think, what I try to do is I try to identify with the situation. I really do. Any situation that I face, I try to identify myself in that situation. How would I feel? That's why even just good, like now I can't watch Lockdown on TV. You know those, I just, I'm for I can't. Intercession, prayer, why did he come here? I'm like, what? I enter the, now the emotion becomes too much. Even those at like banged up abroad, I can't watch. I will collapse there in a heap.
Some of those stories are difficult.
The stories are difficult, and I've entered. And I think that's what I'm feeling with Kenya, because I'm feeling this kind of heaviness and this hopelessness. I'm looking around, and I know that I can't feel like that. And then when I look at myself, I'm part of the, I don't know whether we are in the haves or have-nots or in between, but I'm supposed to be, you know, the one who's making a difference, the one who's privileged, you know? Because I always thought, what's the point of leadership? It's a privilege.
It is.
So because I have a privileged position, because I have a platform, I've got to speak out and say something. But I keep feeling sometimes that like I'm sinking further into hopelessness, and I don't want to do that. So I think self is one of the things that we have to remove, because I'm thinking even with these gangs, what's the next step? Are they going to rape somebody? Is that going to be more, elicit more emotion? What's going to happen? God forbid.
Well, the idea of not stopping things at the beginning is that you give them license to grow.
Yeah. So we don't have a heart even to just say this is wrong.
This is wrong.
And it's not going to happen on my watch.
Let's stop it now.
And I'm going to come out of my comfort zone and step into it. Because you see, maybe when one person does, maybe the other people will do it. But maybe everybody's waiting for somebody to make a move.
Absolutely. And so that's an interesting point, that everyone is waiting
for somebody else to make a move. Yeah.
And if everyone is waiting for someone to make a move, then there'll never be action. right? And you have a lot of stories of bravery and courage in this country that is not being emulated because of any number of given reasons. People are too busy, people are too scared, you know. But we have to love our country so much that we recognize that if the country goes down, I go down with it.
It's true.
You know.
And my generations also go down.
And my generations go down with it.
That's why I said about this Mwenyenchi Monday and trying, because
what
kind of country am I living for out there? I mean, my piece of the country.
Yeah.
What am I living for my daughter?
My daughter, you know, I used to think, you know, when you think it's half and half. You think that your child is half Kikuyu, half Luo.
No,
that's not. Technically,
she's a full Kenyan.
She's a full Kikuyu, she's a full Luo. But what kind of country is she going to live in? And now I understand what you mean when you ask that question. But I think part of the power that I see in your life is a burden that God has given you for leadership, for purpose, and especially for family. Now, the thing that connects these three things is selflessness.
It is.
You can't lead.
You can't be selfish.
You can't lead in a vacuum.
No.
You can't do your purpose for yourself. It's for others. And family is plural. It's not singular.
And it involves everyone.
It involves everyone.
You know, it's like I've never sat here and thought, who's a Luo, who's a Kikuyu? So it's never even coming to my, who's a Kizi? No.
So let's take
we're here as leaders.
So let's take the idea of family and put purpose in there and put leadership in there. And we say, what's a family? A family is a collection of individuals. So you have parent or parents, you have a child or children, then you have siblings and etc. Now, sociology will tell you that a family is a building block of a nation, of a society.
Yes.
So essentially, the nation or the country is a collection of families, which is a collection of individuals. Now, what happens at the family level then becomes critical.
Very critical.
And we even need to dig down even deeper in this country and say, what's happening with the Kenyan family? What values are we developing at that unit?
And you know, some of the values we're developing is selfishness.
Yep.
The other one is we have conversations behind closed doors that our children are listening to.
Yeah. That
so
we should not have.
We should not have, and we pretend. I mean, out there, you cannot even look like you can have such a conversation.
Yeah.
But behind closed doors, we're teaching our children hatred.
It's true.
We're teaching them tribalism.
It's true.
I mean, the saddest story I had during that whole time, the whole of last year, was how children in school were fighting about tribe. I mean, what? That is not their business. But you see, it's coming down to the values that we're teaching our children.
Absolutely.
And you see, it also reminds me of whenever I talk about vision, and I say, whenever I talk about vision, I talk about eating a meal. So we've got to break it down. So, you know, when we look at society and we look at Kenya, we say, "Bas, us guys, I don't know how, taking it back, you have to even say it with the fire." Well, you take it back. How you taking it back? Who do you think you want to take it back? But if we don't, so we've got to break it down. I like what you said, to that unit. And the unit we're starting with is the family and the individual. We've got to start with the individual and the family and the values that we have. And then when you start practicing those values where you are, then the country will begin to change.
Absolutely.
Rather than take this thing called sin, take this thing called self, take this thing called corruption, and try to tackle it by yourself. Tackle it where you are. And it's very in relation with the fact that we're in a Nehemiah season as a nation. Because that's what Nehemiah did. Nehemiah took responsibility. Nehemiah went, he said he was building the wall. He was hashtag, but he was also taking it back. He was like, hey, hashtag, taking back our strength, our reputation, who we are as a people. But he got every family, every unit in that society to do what it needs to do. And so you see, even I'm awake now. I'm awake. I'm alive. I'm like, we're moving this way.
And the context, and it's interesting that you bring up Nehemiah, because the context of Nehemiah and the motivation was his love for the country. The thing that starts him off on this journey is his concern for the direction that the country is taking. And so everything else that he does after that is driven by that motivation. Where is the motivation for us to say that this country cannot go on the way it's going on?
The way it is. That's why we're having Mwenyenchi Monday, Taking Back Kenya, 2018 and beyond. We're taking it back. And hashtag prison break. Imagine we're breaking out of prison.
Yeah.
As we're not staying in that hopelessness.
Absolutely.
We have a direction. We have a way. And we're asking you to join us in this movement. We're asking you to join us in the prayer, in the fasting, in the action, in the values, in what we need to do to take back this nation. My name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie, and it's Mwenyenchi Monday. God bless you.